On this case, on that note, as you talk about the challenge and also what you present, what kind of food that you serve?
Well, it is a Pan-African restaurant, so we have selected dishes from different regions of Sub-Saharan Africa. So we have dishes from South Africa, East Africa, and West Africa, and we can make food from 52 countries. So the idea is, then again, it goes back to finding a common ground and break this idea of nationalism. How can we find dishes that are common for one region? So which dishes are common for West Africa? Which dishes are common for East Africa, and so on. So a thorough research and also my personal understanding of the experiences I had visiting some of these countries is finding a dish that there's a common understanding. So you have different people from different countries of West Africa come and say, yes, jollof. It's not Ghanaian jollof, but it tastes okay. Just giving that, and that is the dishes we serve. We serve the infamous jollof rice from the West African region. Many West African countries prepare this dish and eat it with different, prepare it with different ingredients. It has different color, different texture, different taste, but still the same raw ingredients. That's one of the dishes. We have dishes from East Africa, something like chapati that is common from different, several East African countries like Somalia, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. We have samosa that is also common from the East African region. And from the South Africa we have peri peri chicken, which is one of my favorite, and we have chakalaka that is also common in Lesotho and also South Africa. So just this idea of making a concept and then being very thorough about every aspect of the concept. So if I'm doing a Pan-African restaurant, then I have to include dishes that a lot of people can relate to. They might not say, yes, this tastes exactly like we make it in Nigeria or Liberia, but they know the dish, they know the name of the dish, and they sense the taste of the dish. So yeah, those are the dishes that we make, and the concept of selecting different dishes.
That's fantastic. Now you have got these live events that you combine. Can you just explain a little bit the activities that you are involved with?
Yes. So besides the food, which is a part of the restaurant, the other events are related to some of the activities are to enlighten Danish people, but also the African community, and to create some form of pride in our creative side as Africans. So some of the events that we do is live painting. So we
make this one over there.
This one here. So we have so so Sasaa it's a restaurant, it's a gallery, it's a music place, it's a late night poetry underground venue.
Oh.
And all those aspect that is rooted in the African culture. So poetry, like with the spoken people, not the written people for many years. Art, it's also ingrained in our culture. And the music, like one would say that jazz is from Nigeria, originated from Nigeria. So those are the events we have. So we have live music once a month, a bit jazzy with an African twist. We have a music coordinator who does that. Then we have every third month we have art exhibition with different young, talented, upcoming artists with African background. Then we have spoken poetry, where we invite poets in Copenhagen, where we also have open mic. So if you have something in your heart, you can come to this safe space and then just have read your poems.
Oh.
And then we have live painting. So that is the artists who are exhibiting get the opportunity to come and then just showcase their creativity and then make a live painting event. And that is something that's actually going to happen this Saturday as you're invited to as well.
Thank you very much. I'll be for sure. I'll be present, and I'll make sure that I'll be coming often to the restaurant here.
Definitely.
So that'll be really good. So when it comes to the Danes, what their response to? I know the restaurant is African, and maybe also targeting many Africans coming to the restaurant. But when it come local, you're talking about the Danish people. What their reaction when they come to the restaurant?
The general experience from the Danish customers has been very good. I think for them, it's an experience they can't get other places. It's the first Pan-African restaurant in Denmark. So for them coming in here and tasting food that they can't pronounce and they don't know the taste of it, and really leaving here with a better understanding of, hey, African food is actually very delicious. That is something that we can get used to. So everyone has welcomed it with open arms, and it's been. We also had a great article in Politiken where we have 5 hearts, like an amazing review.
The main newspaper in Denmark.
Yes, very good review on that one, and also another magazine called Scandinavia, I think it's called. Yeah. So yeah, seems like everyone is happy, and I've also, me and the team have worked a lot on how can you take African food. The taste is good. Everyone can agree, if you're an African, that African cuisine is rich in taste. But it's how we serve the food, which has always been a challenge. And because we grew up with this food, we don't think much of presentation. So I think most of us can relate to, you get food on a plate, boom, eat it. We know it tastes good, so we eat it. But when it comes to a restaurant and it comes to people who doesn't know this type of food or what it tastes, it's extremely important that the food looks appealing, aesthetic, and well presented. So that's something that we've worked a lot on. So if we present the food, is to give the same food that I grew up with as a Somali, to give it another aesthetic look of presentation. And for the Danish people, customers who haven't seen or tasted this kind of food, it's important that you look at it, and then because you eat with your eyes before you even taste the food. So that is something that we worked at a lot.
You keep on mentioning the Pan-Africanism. It's something you said that you believe on Pan-Africanism, right? And we hear and we see like this huge movement that's going on, and as you mentioned it, what do you see is coming? Near future for Africans. You know, when we talk about food, books, films, and all the things. What do you see in the near future? Are we Africans ready now to make it happening?
That's a very big question to answer, and it's but from what I can.
Let's say on your restaurant, on the food side.
The food side, at least
Restaurant.
in my in this establishment, that is one of the goals, and that is also again why I talked about this is not a restaurant owned by a Somali guy. It doesn't matter if I'm a Somali, but I'm African. We have the same history. We have the same we have so many things in common. But in this restaurant, I sense that. You feel that the Pan-African spirit, and I have several incidents and cases where you feel the deep, desire for that togetherness. So people who eat at this restaurant, they sense that. They sense that the importance of this Pan-African movement and ideology, because if we as Africans cannot sit together around the same table and discuss what benefits us as a nation, as people, then we will never move on. We would never succeed, or we would never grow as Africans. And that's one of the things that I really try to make in this restaurant. So when I see people of African descent, then I'm interested in knowing, hey, where are you from? I know you're from Denmark, but what are your roots? And I don't ask that question to distinguish that person from me. And I know some Africans have had that questions too many times, where it has reached a point where it's irritating. Where are you from? Like, I'm from Denmark. Why do people keep asking me that question? But in this establishment, I ask that question so I can acknowledge you as a fellow African, so I can respect you and your cultures. And I have a sense of, like, okay, he's a Ghanaian brother. That means that me as a Somali, you as a Ghanaian, we have some things in common. We can have an open relationship where we see strength in each other's cultures. So for me, it's not a question of, hey, where you from? You don't look like me. But more, hey, where you from? I want to acknowledge you. And it's not thinking in a nationalistic way, but it's more, in order for you to become one with some person, you have to acknowledge them first for who they are and their background. So in this restaurant, I feel that. I feel that people are, when they come in here, they don't feel that it's a Somali restaurant. They feel that it's an African restaurant, and I have an ownership in it. Because it tells a history. Because we're presenting food that is not common for one country, but from a whole continent and a region. So I hope, and I also see it in other events. Now there is Black Lives Matter, there's different organizations, there is a Afro-Danish collective that is a new initiative to battle racism and discrimination in Denmark. And in that establishment, it doesn't matter where you're from as an African, but it matters that you're an African and you have and we have a common history. We have common opportunities and common challenges that we have to deal together. So I see that it's becoming more and more people are joining forces for a bigger growth.
Okay. I know you are a very busy man. I will ask you a couple of more questions, then we'll let you go because of course you need to run the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Now you've got the Sasaa here. Are we expecting to have more Sasaas around Copenhagen, Denmark, or so on?
Yes. My vision is to have a Sasaa in Copenhagen, one more, and hopefully one in another city in Jutland, one in also other Scandinavian countries, because I think this type of concept could really, it's beyond food, it's beyond art or music. It's a place that has a goal of connecting people. So I think it's a place that needs to be that needs to exist in other contexts.
That's exactly what people need. If people like to come and have a nice dinner, lunch, where they can find it?
Sasaa, it's in Blågårdsgade, Nørrebro 2A. That's the address. And we are always here with open arms and a big smile to welcome you. Doesn't matter where you're from. And we have plenty of space, both inside and outside. So yeah,
Thank you very much for your time.
thank you for your time.